What's up, you fricks? Jeebs here. A very disturbed Jeebs, very disturbed man after driving an electric car, Tesla Model 3. If you haven't seen that, check the card at the top of your screen. You can check out that video. It is my initial reaction. I'd never driven one before. The information I give in the video is terrible because I don't know anything, but that's what I said. You'll learn a lot in the comments. A lot of EV people have all the information down there. There's a lot of good information in the comments on that video. Also a lot of trolls. But the question is, how do I feel about driving the brand new M2 that I just purchased? Well, it's a 2018. It's not brand new, but it's in brand new condition. It looks amazing, as you can see. So how do I feel about driving this car after driving a dual motor Model 3? If you're not familiar with what dual motor means for EVs, is all-wheel drive. That car, the Model 3, while it weighs 4,000 pounds, this weighs 3,450. It is just as fast to 60 because of the instantaneous torque and the all-wheel drive. So 4.4 seconds to 60. This can do 4.5, it says. I'm sure you could do 4.4 if you're a really good driver. So essentially the same acceleration. Now, when I was driving that Model 3, I mean, I was literally like, this is the future, and I still think it is the future. But I was nervous to come back to this car and maybe feel like it wasn't as special. I'm glad to tell you that I still love driving this car. I'm not going to get rid of it for a Model 3. Some people are joking about that. What I am probably going to do is get a Model Y. And I'm either going to replace my ST, which is maybe. I most likely will replace my wife's, why did I say like that? My wife's Ford Escape. Get a Model Y for her. It's a safe car. And I'm gonna enjoy driving that thing, and I know she will too. But I mean, this thing is just in absolutely perfect shape. So let's talk more about this. Paint is in such good shape. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because this thing is just, I haven't taken time yet to just sit and appreciate the car, and it is just beautiful. It's just such a, I'm so thankful the guy that owned it before me kept it in the shape he did. And I'm gonna make a separate video going through what I paid for this car, what I've done for it, and my plans and everything. And I also got my first upgrade in, so I'm gonna be doing that probably this week. So I'll keep you all updated on the M2. If you want M2 content, this is the place to subscribe to, because I'm gonna make probably over 100 videos on this car. Back to the whole point of the video is, how do I feel about driving this after driving the Model 3? Now, when I drove the Model 3, I hadn't driven this that much. I mean, yes, I drove it 400 miles back from Utah to get it here, but that was like highway driving, didn't get to do a lot of accelerations. Ooh. Nice Golf R. Brad, exhaust sounded well. Sounded good, not well. The experience you get in driving this M2, it's a valved exhaust system. It's just different, and it's not good, it's not better, it's not worse, it's whatever your preference is. Now, when you get in, if you haven't driven an electric car, you're quickly going to realize, oh, this is the future, because you kind of hate things sometimes that you don't understand, and that was kind of the case. I just didn't really not that I was like openly like, screw Tesla, I'm never buying one, but I hadn't driven one. And then you read all this stuff online that's just like a bunch of propaganda, and the Tesla's a great car, and it is the future, and this M2 is a great car, and it is right now. I think we still have another 100 years before maybe everything is switched over to EV. You think how long that is going to take to switch everyone over? It's probably even longer. But the more people that drive electric cars, the more are going to buy them. It's just plain and simple. And also, when you see someone like Porsche, which has one of the most extensive motorsport histories of any of the brands in the country, go and build the Taycan, and they're coming out with fully electric Porsche Macan. So when you see a company like that investing heavily in electric, that shows you kind of where it's going. It also shows you the impact that Tesla and other companies have had on their sales, because they're selling so many electric cars. That's cutting out of their business. And it's considering the Tesla Model S competes with, I'd say, the Porsche Panamera. Then you also have the Model X, which is Porsche Cayenne, things like that. That's definitely taking business away from Porsche, and that's why they're investing in electricity. So am I disappointed driving this after driving a Model 3 dual motor? Absolutely not. The exhaust sound, the different drive modes, the way the throttle responds differently in the different drive modes. It's definitely a better looking car, 100% there. But the driving experience, once you're inside of it, you can't see the outside. You can only feel what the car is doing. And my God, this is a great car to drive. I'll also go over why I bought this over an M3 or an M4. And I'm also going to go over why I bought this over a Supra and the M2 competition, because those are obviously cars that closely compete. But yeah, I was absolutely nervous coming back to this, like, oh man, am I going to still like this car I've been wanting to get for over a year now after driving the Future? And the answer is yes. This is still great to drive even after driving a Tesla. But if you're looking to buy a car, you need to drive a Tesla first. That way you have no regrets, because I came into this thinking there's a chance that I get this nice 1 Series. You almost never see the 1Ms. Those are really rare. But this is the successor to that. So I'm not disappointed, but at the same time, I'd love to have a Tesla in the garage as well, because for day-to-day driving, I think that would be good. Now, one of the comments also said, sounds good. Now, one of the comments also said, they were like, why would you want to get this for the fun driving and a Tesla for boring daily driving? My main reason for that, this is a visceral experience driving this car. The sound, the rumble of the engine, shifting the gears, changing the drive modes, rear wheel drive, being able to do slides or whatever you want to do. It is a totally raw and different experience than the Tesla. And I'm not saying you can't have fun in the Tesla. It's great to drive. You saw the road I was on in Oahu in Hawaii. Amazing road, and the car was a blast, but there's no sound, it's quiet. And that's what I would like to have for a daily driver. I'm gonna be driving it a lot more, 25,000 miles a year I do in my Focus. And I don't wanna be using fuel on boring drive. If I'm gonna use fuel, I'd rather be using it for when I'm going on long trips or going into the canyons or going to the racetrack or something like that to get that experience. I'm not saying it's not a fun car and that could be your only car and you could take it and do both. I've just wanted this for so long that I just think it's more fun to drive. Not saying you wouldn't enjoy the Tesla as much, that's just my opinion. This is my ice. That was probably what I learned the most after seeing the comments. Someone just wrote ice, and I was like, oh, internal combustion engine. Of course that's written out online. They write out ice like it's criminal to have now. So I thought that was really funny. So this is my ice cube, and I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna continue driving my ice around. So, let's go for a drive. Hope the wind noise isn't too bad for you. I'm gonna run it with the windows down. I'll put that window up actually. That should cut down on wind noise enough. Put it into sport mode. Do the sport displays. It shows the horsepower and foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, it's a different experience driving something like this compared to the Tesla. And like I said, it's not good or bad, it's just different. But I would admit that I think Tesla and electric is the future. Supra. Wow, that's the first time I've seen a Supra out in the wild. It's pretty nice. It looked like a launch edition too. So I'm gonna put it into Sport Plus. The difference with Sport Plus is the throttle response is the most aggressive it can be, and there's either no traction control or there's just the tiniest amount of traction control, but the throttle response is amazing. In this mode. Also, the auto blips when you downshift, which I'll show you in a second, are the most aggressive. So when I'm in comfort mode, it's like blip. When I'm in Sport Plus, it really revs the car to get it right back where you want it to be if you were on a racetrack. And I love that feature. This exhaust sounds I can't. I'm gonna do a video where I show you guys like exactly how it sounds with Andrew. So he has all the equipment to make that happen. But the burbles and overrun and everything, oh my god. And that's something here. So I'll go into second right now. It blips it for you. So it's a nice. It's impressive how well that works. I didn't and that's another thing. Like online, everyone's like, "Oh, that's so stupid. They have the auto blip feature." Like everyone's so negative about it. Then you drive something that has that, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is so nice." And yeah, if you want, you can turn it off. If you turn all the traction off, the auto blip feature will turn off. But I really like it. I really enjoy it. You can actually hear the brakes clamping and stopping the car. I drove a Porsche 911 Carrera C4S or something, and you could hear the same thing. I'd never heard that before. And that's it. I mean, again, in summary, this is just a more visceral experience than the Tesla. It's just my preference currently for, you know, when I want to have fun, this is what I want to drive right now. It's not better, it's just what's out there right now, and I really like it, and I'm not disappointed that I got this over owning like a Tesla Model 3 Performance or something like that. So those are my thoughts right now. I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts. I know some of you traded your Focus STs for Model 3s. Another thing people talked about was the fit and finish of the Teslas. I didn't really see anything wrong with it. I thought mine was built pretty well. They said panel gaps. I mean, panel gaps is something that people online, like enthusiasts, notice. Okay, like I would notice panel gaps if they were bad. But the average person just cares that they don't have to put gas in their Tesla. That's all they care about. They care that they can do a setting where if you sit in this seat, it's going to sound like somebody farts. So like that's what the average consumer cares about when they are buying a Tesla, not necessarily all the tiny things that enthusiasts are more interested in. So that's what I would say about that. I mean, if the conversation continues, I'm happy to make another video on it or answer any of your questions. If you're still with me in the video, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all of your support. My channel has been like, everyone's mainly positive. It's like 95% positivity on here. I really appreciate that. But at the same time, I don't really make that controversial content. I mean, I just kind of give you the facts and move on. When I do make controversial content, it gets more views, makes a lot more money, but I feel like a lot of things are overdone. We need more facts and less controversy. So, hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. If you're still with me, leave a like on it, and we'll see you next time. I really hope you're able to hear those burbles when the downshifts happen. Oh my god. So you guys can't see it right now, but I actually just hit 10,000 miles. 10,003 miles. Did it while I was in this video.